Dobro jutro. First of all, I would like to say that I am very honored to have been invited by our dear friend Mirko, and for you, Dr. Mirko, to be here for the opening of this Masterclass. I am very happy also to see that there are some of my Brazilian doctors here, Dr. Paulo Shore and Dr. Jonathan Wake. They have just told me that they are very happy to be here in Belgrade, and they were very lucky with the weather, because if they came here some weeks before, the weather was not so nice. But today, Belgrade is, as it should be always, a beautiful city with lights and happiness. But maybe you find let's say, unusual to have an ambassador to be present during such kind of event. We were discussing with Mirko that during my mandate here in Belgrade, we gave a lot of importance, and we spent a lot of effort trying to make Brazilian culture more known to Serbian. We promoted several cultural events. But I wanted to say that I am also very happy to be here and say that the Ambassador Brazil also wants to bring the prestige of the Brazilian government to the cooperation between Serbia and Brazil in terms of science and technology, as it is the case of this event. I understand there are also representatives from other countries of the region here, including from Montenegro, where I am also accredited as ambassador. So I'm also very happy to... Who are the Montenegrins here? Do you have anyone? Okay. I'll be very shortly visiting Montenegro, and I'm very happy to find you here. Well, what else can I tell you? Being a Brazilian, which is a representative of a country who is today very much in the news because of several reasons. Brazil, you know, Brazil benefits, but is also a victim of some kind of stereotypes, like being the country of carnival, samba, and football. Okay, we are very happy that we are known by those aspects. I'm so sorry. But also, I wanted to tell you that Brazil is... I'm so sorry. Hello? Yeah, can I call you back in a moment? Okay, I'm sorry. So, apart from this image that Brazil has, carnival, the country of carnival, samba, nice beaches, and football. Okay, we are this. I like football. The World Cup is is now has just begun. But Brazil is not only this today. Brazil is much more than this. We have underwent very significant transformation into a very economic, let's say, emergent power. Brazil today is the third major manufacturer of aircraft. If you don't know this, we have just sold 3 top-of-the-line aircraft to the government of Montenegro. And Brazil is the biggest producer and exporter of meat. By the way, we export meat to all the European Union and other European countries, except for in Serbia. But this is going to be changed because we have just signed an agreement that will allow Brazilian meat, which is one of the best in the world, to be here. So economically, Brazil is doing very well. Fortunately, we have established very solid economic fundamentals, combined with social justice. And that is why the economic crisis was very lightly present in Brazil. We managed to escape the most serious effects of the crisis because of the fundamentals of our economy, and I tell you why. We managed to make the internal market bigger and bigger through very successful social policies. How? We managed to move 31 million people from the poverty line to the middle class. That means to the consuming market. So the industry in Brazil, of course, suffer because external markets were affected by recession. They could not import as they did things from Brazil. So this amplification of the internal market helped very much compensate for the loss of volume in our exports. Brazil today has completely paid its external debt. More than this, Brazil used to be a debitor to the IMF, to the International Monetary Fund. Today, we are a creditor. Today, we are lending money to the International Monetary Fund. This is internally. So internally, all the economics fundamentals, together with these very successful social policies, made the country strong enough to resist the effects of the crisis. And all this in a framework of absolute democratic regime. Brazil has a very solid and stable democracy. We have very solid institutions. We are a country that are more and more paying attention to the combat of violations of human rights And in terms of environment, Brazil has the cleanest energy metrics in the world. 45% of the Brazil's energy come from renewable energy, not only hydroelectric power, which is very important in Brazil because of the number of big rivers that we have, but also because of this very successful program of replacing and combining gasoline with ethanol, alcohol made from sugarcane. You probably don't know, but today 90% of the new cars produced in Brazil is equipped with a technology that we call flex fuel. That means that a car, the engine of the car can use either gasoline, ethanol, or a combination of both fuels without any adjustment in the engine and without any loss of performance. And this is very clean. This is cleanest energy source. But oil is not yet, petroleum is not yet an energy of the past, on the contrary. And I tell you that Brazil has discovered recently huge reserves of oil that will make the country self-sufficient in terms of oil. Just for you to have an idea, in the 70s, we used to expend 40% of our export revenue to pay for the oil imports in 1970s. That's when we start our first experiment with ethanol, with our famous Pro-Alco program. This is the, I would say, this is the internal panorama of Brazil. A very, I would say, a very optimistic panorama. We expect to grow, more or less between 5 and 6% in our GDP, which is a very significant rate of growth. But I would also like to say some few words about Brazil as a global player. You know that with all this new economic power, Brazil feels that we can participate in the discussions of the relevant themes of the international agenda. That is why Brazil has the aspiration of becoming a permanent member of the Security Council of the United Nations in the context of a future reform. Why? Because we feel that we have all the titles, all the conditions to sit together with the other big countries and give our opinion, and we are doing this today. Brazil, as you know, tried together with Turkey. We failed, but we tried to avoid the impositions of sanctions against Iran in the issue concerning the Iranian nuclear program. Because Brazil is a country of peace. We are a peaceful country. We are surrounded by 10 countries. We have borders with 10 countries, and we have not a single conflict with any of those 10 countries. By nature, the Brazilian people are a peaceful country. We don't want war, we don't want conflicts. So we think that many of the international conflict should be resolved by peaceful means and by dialogue. That's why Brazil does not recognize Kosovo, because we think that multilateralism should prevail, that decisions such declaration of independence should be decided through dialogue and not through unilateral decisions. Brazil also is member of a group that you probably have heard called the BRICS. BRIC is an acronym for the letters of the beginning of the country, Brazil, Russia, India, and China. The BRICS, which began as a rhetorical expression of one of a financial expert, became a reality. And today we meet, we have regular meetings, because we think that countries like Brazil, China, India, and Russia, countries that represent half of the world population, countries that together represent more than 20% of the GDP of the world, countries that have huge internal markets, countries that are producer and exporter of food and energy, like the case of Brazil with this new and successful ethanol program, and Russia with gas and petroleum. We feel that this group of countries cannot be ignored also in the discussions of all the major items of the international agenda. That's why I firmly believe that from now on, no big decisions is going to be taken in the agenda of the international organizations without those countries being listened to and being given the opportunity to express their opinion. So, my friends, this is the new Brazil. It's not only the country of football, carnival, mulatas, Rio, beaches, Copacabana, Ipanema, and football, but is also a country that is growing very fast, and a country that is a good friend of Serbia. We have 70 years of a history of a very good relationship. We have not a single issue that separates us. Our trade is not very big in terms of figures. It's about $120 million a year. I would say that 90% of this number is Brazilian exports to Serbia. But the good thing is that every year there is sustained growth in our trade. New items are added to the list of products. Coffee, which used to be the traditional export product to not only to Serbia but to all countries in the world, used to represent 90% of the Brazilian exports to Serbia. Today is only 35%. So there is a very interesting diversification of our list of export. And we are also all discussing the possibilities of opening our market to Serbian products. We are going to receive next week the visit of the Brazilian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Celso Amorim, who's going to pay a visit to Belgrade. And I think that during his discussions, he has many new opportunities, new windows opportunities will be open to our cooperation. I can anticipate to you that during his stay here, we are going to sign very interesting agreements, such as the abolition of visas between Brazil and Serbia. In a very short time, there will be no need for visas for Serbians to travel to Brazil, and also the other way around. So this is I think it's a good news. Although it's very simple to travel to Brazil, there is no complication. We grant visas to Serbian friends who want to visit Brazil. But now this is going to be official in agreement, not only to diplomatic and official passports, but also for ordinary passports. Also, sorry. Also, we are going probably to sign some other important agreements, including an agreement on cooperation on agriculture, because Serbia has the basis of its economy on agriculture, especially in the north of Serbia, in the Vojvodina region. So the Serbian Ministry of Agriculture paid a recent visit to Brazil, where he visited all the producing units that we have, all the institutes. We have some very important state-of-the-art institutions in terms of agricultural research, like Embrapa, which is very important. So we are going to have some cooperation with Embrapa, which is, as I said, a top-of-the-line institution in terms of research on agriculture. So I think that's all I would like to tell you. Brazil is so big. I have so many things to tell you, but I know that you have more important speakers to listen to, especially those who are going to speak about the theme of this event, and which is not really Brazil. I was very honored by the invitation of Dr. Mirko to be here and to bring the presence of the Brazilian embassy. And again, to say that we are not promoting not only culture and trade, but also giving our support to cooperation in terms of science and technology, especially in a high-tech area, as it is the theme of this event. So thank you very much for your attention and for your patience.